I never.
Oh, you never said anything.
I got cheated on.
Yeah, she got cheated on.
So Alex was gonna say something. Hold on,
no.
Alex was gonna say something.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
Were you cheated on?
Alex.
I think wholeheartedly that you have to date people that actually like you and respect you, because no person that really no man that really values you or woman is going to embarrass you like that. So date people that actually like you. Because a lot of people, they don't like you. They like what they can do for you or what you can do for them. And when you stop doing that, they're like, all right, I'm going to go find somebody else who can.
But what happens when you are in a relationship or a marriage and you don't necessarily always like your partner? Like, let's say you were just going through like a little phase.
You're not partially liking someone. So they didn't like you from the beginning. But like you have a marriage and it's like, okay,
I would disagree.
This person, my husband liked me. He loved me. I mean, I like you all the time. We may have to work to like each other a lot, but there are certain people that do not like their partners from day one.
I would change your wording and say you always love your partner, but you don't necessarily always like your partner. When I was married, there were a lot of times where I loved him, but there were not necessarily times where I necessarily liked what he was doing and such like that. But I think it really comes down to a mutual respect of feelings, respect of like actually listening and hearing your partner, what they're saying, what they're needing, and not necessarily
chat is ruthless.
Not necessarily 50-50 when it comes to paying, but like 50-50 when it comes to the household. You know what I'm saying? Like picking up where your other is slacking, and just being back and forth.
No, I get that, but you don't start off.
It wasn't a super one. It was a regular one.
You don't start off loving some random stranger, but you do grow to like them.
No, but it's work. It's a lot of work. No relationship it can continue without work. No friendship can continue without work.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying when you meet someone, there are people that meet their spouse and they really don't like them. They don't find them attractive. They don't
I agree.
think that they can do anything. But
you
if
mean
they
settle?
I would.
Yeah, because they like something that they can do for them, but they don't like them as a person.
They keep them around.
No, I think what it is, those type of people are evil. They like the situation because they control it. Some people are evil. They just want to control things. Mm-hmm. So they'll settle for control. Well, this guy, I can't really control him. I don't like that. I'm just looking for control. But this guy, I don't really like him too much, but I like the fact that I can control him. So they'll settle with that guy because they want to dictate terms in a relationship. That's a woman operating her masculinity. And normally, if any woman is leading the relationship, she leads that relationship to the end. That's just a normal conclusion if a woman is actually the masculine figure in that relationship. Like anytime a woman likes the man less than the man likes her, it's over. She's leading the relationship. In order for a relationship to work, the man must like the woman less and the woman must like the man more, because everyone wants to be the adorer. You actually want to be the one that's like, oh, I adore this person so much. And that's when you feel the butterflies. That's when life is good. That's when you're very excited about seeing that individual and going. Every date feels like the first date when you adore that man. Right? When you are the adorer. That's the way that women stay faithful and they stay locked in a relationship. On the flip side, if the man is the adorer and the woman is the one that's being adored, then guess what? She doesn't really feel the vibes and stuff like he is. He's basically the woman in a relationship that's getting the butterflies every time he sees her. He's basically the one that's like very excited about the little things. No, the woman needs to be excited about the little things. Men and women show love differently. Men, the way we receive love is by you respecting us. And in order for you to respect us, you got to actually admire us and stuff like that too. You got to like look up to us in order to respect us. So if you're looking up to us, basically you like us a little bit more than we like you. And that's how we'll receive that love. Like, okay, cool. We receive it. The vice versa on the other side, if the man is pedestalizing you and adoring you and looking up to you, you're not going to respect that man. You're not going to respect that man. That's putting you on a pedestal. It just doesn't work that way. So I say that to say, I get the conversation that y'all was having, but yeah, like chicks, you actually should choose the guys that you actually like. Like you actually adore that man, because that's the relationships that you would stay in. The thing is, what I was speaking about before, you only are choosing guys that meet your standard because you're hypergamous. So, but guess what? You're looking for quality. And those quality men, if you want them, she want them, she want them, she'll take them. The girls in the back could take them, you know what I'm saying? But you have to find some medium ground. It's like, put it like this. What's your height preference? Go with you.
My height preference?
Yeah, put your mic closer.
Anything taller than me, for real.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
5'8"? You fine with that?
Sure.
Like
yeah.
what? I'm speaking about like what would you prefer? Not what would you settle with. What would you prefer?
Literally, my preference is taller than me. I can't do shorter.
Got it. Now, have you ever dated a man that's 5'8"?
Yes.
Okay. And what's your height preference?
6'1" or taller.
6'1" and taller. God dang, where'd the 1 inch come from? I know 6, but the 6'1"?
Because my son is 6'1", and if you're not taller than my son,
Oh yeah, it's just not gonna look right.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, I can't really submit to you. I might as well be with my son. Okay, fair enough. How can I feel protected with you when my son could probably protect me more? I get it. I get the thinking of women brain. What about you? What's your height preference?
I'd probably say 5'11" or taller.
5'11" or taller. What about you?
I don't really have a height preference. I would like for you to be taller than me.
Okay, so you got one then.
Legit.
How tall are you?
5'5".
Okay, so 5'6" is fine. Okay, income preference. Minimum income. What would you? What's the minimum? Actually, let's go with what you prefer, because this is what we all preferred. So, what do you prefer? The man should make yearly.
Probably like 40K and above.
40K and above. Okay.
I would suggest you would have to make what I make or more.
Okay. Well, say a number. A preferred.
You got to make 140 plus.
140 plus. Okay. What about you?
Same thing. Like you need to make a
140 plus.
100 or more.
100,000 or more. What about you?
I would like for you to make at least 100,000.
All right, cool. She's in reality over here a little bit more than you women over here, because the reality is only about 17 or 20% of all humans in America make $100,000. And then when you get to 140, that decreases a lot. A lot,
Like I
right?
bring this to the table,
And
so why I'm
that's
not
men.
settling for less.
But the thing is, I just want you to live in reality and understand as your standards go up. Here's what I'm trying to give you out of perspective of. As your standards go up, your options go down. That's all I want you to realize. So since your options go down, there's competition, because you just don't want that guy. Other girls want that guy. But then if you get that guy, well, guess what? He has girls. He has girls that want him too. The probability goes up for him to cheat. You get what I'm saying? So if cheating is the end all be all for you ladies, you want to lower your standards and try to
I'll be
choose a
alone.
guy that's really not out there like that.
I'll be alone.
I would rather be alone than lower my standards.
So you would rather be
Yes.
you'd rather be cheated on or be alone.
I'd rather be
I'd
alone.
rather
I'd
be
rather
alone.
be realistic.
I'd rather be alone.
You was
I'd rather
more
be alone.
realistic than him. Okay, fair enough.
But here's
100,000
my
would be a preference, but that's because I want more kids, and kids are expensive.
Yeah.
But as long as you are sustaining your life with your money, make what you make.
And the thing is, you don't have to lower your standards. I'm not actually telling you to lower your standards. I'm just giving you the reality. But let's say if you don't want to lower your standards, then you have to live in the reality that you are competing with other women for this one man.
don't
That
disagree with
this
that.
man in the top, 5 percentile or sometimes 1 percentile. Basically, you want a guy that's over 6'1", and you want him to make a minimum of 140K. You want him to be black or white, or what's your race preference?
I have no preference.
And
I have
race?
no preference.
You'll take a Chinese man? Okay, you'll
If
take
he
a black guy.
Is Chinese man above 6'1"?
It's going to be hard to find them. That probability goes lower. A lot of them ain't. A lot of them ain't.
That's all, bro.
What's your preference when it comes to race?
Black or Spanish.
Okay, black. BBC gang, that's I see y'all in the chat. Y'all funny. That's what y'all was saying in the chat. It makes sense now. I see what y'all
Wait,
put that
what were
together.
they saying?
Okay, but that even brings it lower. as far as because black people, when it comes to finances and stuff, they're at the lower end of that, bracket.
I won't disagree with that. It's not, and it has actually nothing to do with
if it comes to race.
No, I'm sorry. I was saying that it's actually not that I wouldn't date a white man because it's just it's a matter of confidence that a lot of white men don't have.
White men
Yes.
don't have confidence. Oh, okay, I get what you're saying.
A lot of the time. So like
You're
in
saying
order
that
to
it'd be hard to find a white man that's like a confident white man.
Yeah, like I haven't come like I'm not saying that that they're not there. They absolutely are there.
Yeah.
How they flirt or how they
It's just not your
initiate
style. They ain't got no riz. That's what you're saying.
they just don't come.
White guys, get your riz up. Get your riz up.
No, and I'm not saying that they don't but a lot of the times when I'm at my work events or I'm at events, there's probably a large selection of men that do make what I make or more.
Yeah.
But they're like, hey, how are you? How's your dog been? And I'm like, that's not if you. Is that wrong?
Well, that's what I want you to
funny.
think about because I asked race for a reason. So we got race, we got height, we got income. Yours is 6'1", over only 15% of the population of men
100.
and women are over 6 foot. Well, are 6 foot, and then you want 6'1", so that drops from 15 to probably like 10% or 8%. You know what I'm saying? And then you want 140K.
that drops
So
down to
then
like-
that drops down to like 5% of, the population, including men and women, make that much. Then you want him to be black at that. One,
now
there's
he's
not a
down to
lot. Look,
2%.
there's not a lot of black men, period, in America. There's more
Facts.
white men than there is black men. Then there's more,
I didn't say one. I said,
so you're looking for a top 1% man. So
okay,
here's the
I'm a 1%
thing.
bitch. So
Okay,
Thank
fair
you.
enough. Look, here's the
Thank
thing.
you.
Here's what I want y'all to realize. If you're looking for a 1% man, then guess the question is this. This is the question.
Is she even gonna
are
want
you okay with getting cheated on?
No, not that. Not even that. The question is, what can you do to retain that man? Like, what's special about you that he's going to choose you out of all of his options because he's a 1% man? Not only just choose you, but commit to you and then also be faithful to you. That's looking for a needle in a haystack.
I understand, but I think that that's where law of attraction comes in. I think that if it is, like what she said earlier, if it is meant to be, there is somebody for everybody. All I'm saying is there are certain negotiables and non-negotiables. So if it came down to I'm 6 foot and I make 100, if you were an excellent man in other categories and you brought partnership, communication, comprehension, you were good with the kids, you had good morals, you had good work ethic, that for me would be okay. I'm just saying, if you're asking me what my preference is, I'm going to tell you my preference. If you'd ask me what are negotiables and non-negotiables, I would...
Yeah, what are the non-negotiables then?
Non-negotiables? A liar. I can't stand a liar. Even if you were to cheat and you said it to my face, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have done that, I would say, let's work through that.
What's your non-negotiable?
Mine, I think I would also say lying. I am a big fan of honesty, no matter what. I feel like you should be able, as your partner, you should be able to tell me.
Do you guys have any more than just one?
Okay, look, I'll give y'all. So y'all want honesty. What's your non-negotiable?
Cheating.
Cheating.
Which is lying.
Okay, what's your non-negotiable?
I don't know.
All right. So we got 3 over here, cheating and lying. So let's just play this out. Hypothetically, I'm in a relationship with you. Mm-hmm. We starting it, right? It's like we talking stage. And I'm like, listen, be honest with you. You're a fine young lady, but I don't see myself being with just only you sexually. It's going to be multiple women. Now, we catch a vibe. We like that. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You have feelings for me. It's like that. But I'm being honest with you. I'm telling you, like, if I see an option, I may exercise it. I'm not out there, really looking to fill up, my book and really out there being promiscuous. But, I take a trip. I may want something. That's a man being honest with you. Would you accept it or reject it?
I've gone back and forth. See, if we were just starting talking, I would reject it. If we had just started talking, I would reject it.
Okay, so stop it right there.
Mm-hmm.
Would you reject it if we just started talking?
It depends on what I want from the man. If I wanted a long-term relationship, then I would reject it. If I wasn't super interested, it was
But
just
so then
what
you're
it
going to
is.
reject it because you don't want, we're talking about long-term relationship.
Then, yeah, I'm
You're
rejecting
rejecting it.
Yeah.
Okay. What you doing?
Rejecting it.
You're rejecting it. What about you?
Am I rejecting the honesty?
Yeah. You're rejecting him for being honest.
I respect the honesty.
Yeah, I
No,
appreciate
I just don't want
the
it.
honesty, and I would just have I would have questions.
Okay, so which means that you can't handle the truth, because if you gave most men you said if you can wave a wand, a magic wand, and men had to be honest with you, that is what you would hear. I repeat, if we can wave a magic wand on all men, the majority of men, that is what you would hear. You would hear, I like you a lot. I actually love you, babe. But I'm be honest, like if I see something and she gives me the opportunity, it's a high probability that I'm a smash. That magic wand, you would get the truth. So you would just be rejecting all men. Not all, but most men.
Yeah.
So the point that I wanted to make is, remember when I bring it back to you over here, women can't handle the truth.
Oh, I can handle the truth, and I would love for you to. I'd love for you to tell me to my face that you're going to cheat, because then I would say thank you for being honest
Which means
with me.
you
Goodbye.
can't handle the truth.
Can I ask a
I
question?
don't want a
though?
cheater. Period.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, well, let's put it in the perspective of like a job interview, right? Let's say somebody is a contestant for a job and they come in and they're like, they're honest with the employer to be, and they say, X, Y, and Z, and the employer doesn't really like that, and they decline it. That doesn't really necessarily mean the employer doesn't can't handle the truth. It's just that
certain qualifications
you don't
for the job.
qualify to be a part of the team. You don't qualify.
That's
to
not
date
what I'm
me,
saying.
period.
Let's say let's use that. You use the scenario. I'm speaking about. Men have a natural proclivity to want quantity.
And I'm
so
not
what I'm saying is
Great,
this.
but-
That's like the truth. So if we wave
Right.
a magic wand, it's going to be like 95% of men that ever existed will choose quantity, to be honest with you, like that.
Yeah.
And if you won't accept that out of 95%, that means that you can't handle the truth.
But I think there's a difference between also wanting that and acting on it.
Well,
You can.
Yeah,
you
that's
can,
fine.
You can. I guess
but that's
like
still
one
being
of the.
truthful with his wants. You would still prefer that he didn't act on it.
I would prefer that he didn't
Of
act on
course.
it, but I would also prefer that he would be truthful. I mean, I can handle the truth. I'm not going to snap. I'm not going to freak out. But it doesn't necessarily that I want that truth. It's not necessarily that I want somebody that would want.
I got
to
a
act
different
on
question
it.
for y'all real quick. Which is worse? Just I want to get y'all perspective, because somehow in this conversation it keeps circling back to cheating. I don't know why, but it keeps circling back. So what do you think is worse, if a man cheats or a woman cheats? Let's start with you.
They're both shitty.
Yeah, but what is worse? What would damage the relationship more, if the man cheats or the woman
It's
cheats?
equal. It's so disrespectful. So
Okay, you think that is
disrespectful.
equal. What about
Yeah.
you?
If the woman cheats.
Okay, well, first let's go with, why do you think is equal?
Because I think you're in a partnership and it's an equal partnership. So if you're stepping out on your partner, regardless if you're the man or the woman, that's awful. It's disrespectful. And it's not how I was raised. That's not how I want a relationship. I don't believe in those things. And it's just not something I'm ever going to settle for. I'd rather be single.
Yeah, I know you're explaining why you don't want it, but you're not explaining why you actually think that is equal, from the physical sense, from the emotional
It's
aspects
just messed
of things.
up. It's disrespectful to the core. Like,
We
it's
get
like
that as
slapping me in
disrespectful,
the
but
face.
how? So you actually just
It is
think
a
that
slap
it's
in
just
the
both
face.
disrespectful on both ends.
Exactly, 100%.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. And why do you think that is not? Well, why do you think that is not equal and is worse if the woman cheats?
Because of how women cheat and who they cheat with. It's not usually just I just met this person, I'm going to sleep with them. It's usually a long, ongoing emotional thing, and then they sleep with them. Men, no offense, but men will sleep with crackheads. So Like
That's
it's
wild.
disrespectful, but it's like, all right, she doesn't have anything on me. If I'm gonna cheat on my man for whatever reason,
Okay.
I'm going up.
Got it.
Men don't always go up.
Now, you see how she was able to compare and find the similarities and the differences and compare and contrast? Do you think that with what she said holds any validity or no?
No, I do. I think it's very planned out if a woman cheats versus a man.
Okay, so that would be something different. Like premeditated murder is much more worse than homicide.
But I think they're both awful. I still think they're both awful. And if I'm in a committed relationship with somebody and we've put those lines in the sand, like it's just not something I would do or accept.
Okay. Sophie, what about you? Once her mic is done, we'll get back to her. What do you think?
I would say men are obviously more sexual. Women are obviously more emotional. I feel like it would be more premeditated and thought out on a woman's part than a man's part. So it would definitely be worse if a woman cheated. Not saying that either hurts less or anything, but yeah, I definitely think a woman.
Sam, what about you?
They killed it. Women are definitely emotional creatures if we cheat. And I think men are also more prideful creatures, where women tend to, through our nurturing process, tend to take some hits where men are more prideful. So if a woman was to cheat, there's usually no going back after that.
Okay, so you do know that as differences. So you would say that it's worse if the woman cheats.
It's way worse.
And you say it's worse if a woman cheats?
Yes.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, you said that you can see the differences of what they're saying, but from the disrespect is equal. I get what you're saying. You're saying that they're both disrespectful. I would say that is different levels to the disrespect. So here's a perspective, right? So if we strip it down to the baseline of what holds the relationship, of what, like, the things that you actually prioritize in a relationship, for a woman, you prioritize security. And what is security? That encompasses the man to protect and provide for you. So if the man isn't doing that, you're out of there, because that's like your baseline, right? Now, what do men prioritize, and what is our baseline?
Loyalty,
well,
sex.
It's sex, sandwiches, and submissiveness. It's the 3 S's, right? So one party has a baseline and the woman has a baseline. Whoever gives up their baseline committed treason. So in order for the man to give up his baseline, he would have to protect and provide for another woman. But if he serves a woman some dick, he's not actually giving up his baseline, right? Now, the woman's baseline is sex, sandwiches, and submissiveness, right? If the woman has sex, she actually gave up her baseline. That's why it's treason. It's like, I don't ask for much from you. I just want sex and you to kind of comply with what I say and follow my lead. That's about it. And you gave up the main thing that I'm looking for. From a man, you're not really looking for sex. Like, think about it, ladies. Like, sex isn't even the end all be all. What you're looking for is a future with the man, a good lifestyle, him to protect and provide for you, him to be emotionally stable, him to be charismatic and make you feel you're looking for so many other things that can really hold the relationship down rather than just sex. Men, we're simple creatures. So if you give up that one thing, it's like, that ruins everything. So it's much worse if a woman cheats. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, much, much, much worse. Now, is cheating wrong? Yes, it's wrong. In the sense of wrong, equally wrong in the eyes of the Lord. Yes, equally morally wrong. But in the eyes of man, how we look at it, nah. We judge different than God. God judges based off the heart. We judge based off the actions because we don't know your heart. We ain't God. So you out there cheating and being a skeezer, check you for the streets. Like, when a woman cheats, she submits to another man and she's conquered by another man. When a man cheats, he's the one that's conquering a woman. So I just think it's much differently. But anyways, forget about the cheating part unless anyone had another thought on that. Great win says in $5. Ladies with high standards, if you ever find your 1% man, 6 foot plus, 140K, who then is the prize in the relationship? Good question. Okay, so we can start with you.
I fully support being submissive. I believe that we would both have equal parts of being the prize, but I have no problem with the man being the prize.
Okay.
If, he was respectful and led the way, I have no problem being submissive, but I'm not going to be submissive to somebody who expects it but doesn't provide it, if that makes sense. Like, you can't have expectations that you're not also willing to express. Like, you got to do the same thing.
Yeah, I think what he's saying here is like if you actually get a guy that meets your standard, he's like that 1% guy, the prize. Like, who's
no
that
disrespect,
prize?
but I think prize is a little bit of an immature word. Like, I mean, this isn't a participation trophy. Like, this is like you're talking about human beings.
When they say prize, meaning who's more valuable.
Yeah, that's what they're meaning. Like, who brings more value to the relationship if he's 1%?
I think that goes. But okay, so
who's more rare?
But I mean,
yeah.
Again, let's flip the roles.
Okay.
When you're dating and let's say you're looking for a woman, everybody has their own expectations. But if I was, okay, let's flip it. Like, now, okay, we're talking. Mm-hmm. And I would ask you, what's your ideal height in a woman?
My ideal height? Mm-hmm. I don't care. Niggas don't got no height preference.
Okay.
I'm 6'4". Every chick is way smaller than me.
Okay, so what is your preference for her financial situation?
We don't care about that.
We don't care about.
You asking the wrong questions.
we care about aesthetics. So you want to ask, what is his weight preference?
We care about aesthetics and compliance. Like, how well can this chick listen?
So if a woman can cook, can I cuss yet?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
If a woman can cook, fuck, suck, has her own money, keeps her shit together, and is loyal, is faithful, supports you, where is a good mother, is a good nurturer, is a good human being, wants the best for you, who's the prize then?
So I get what you're saying. What we're saying is, who's more rare? Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Is it rare to find all of those things in a woman?
I'm trying to say this.
It's not rare. It's not at all.
Listen, ladies, it's very simple. Look,
every woman can cook, clean, fuck, suck.
No, they
cannot.
I know girls who can't even make scrambled eggs.
Okay, but that's the minority, though.
That's the minority.
That's the minority. The majority of women. Can you all cook?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
the majority of women can't cook. The minority of women can't cook. The majority of women can't fuck.
How many cheeses does she put in the mac and cheese?
The majority of women are loyal. You know what I'm saying?
But there's not a lot of guys
sandwich or like, hold on, there's not a lot of guys that make 140 fucking K a year. There's not a lot of guys that weigh 6 foot or 6 foot.
Go back to So
that's why men are way more rare.
We're self-sufficient. What makes a man a prize? So
exactly.
Because
you
there's less of him and there's more of you. Okay.
I would love and support that man to the fullest extent if he was reciprocating the same amount of energy, because I genuinely believe that I am also a prize, not the prize. I believe that I am a prize. I think that what I bring to the table from a genuine standpoint, I know what I bring to the table. Would I treat him like the prize as well? I absolutely would. But to sit here and bow down and submit as if all of the efforts and all of the things that I put back into this relationship should be less than because he's more rare than me, well, I can't do it.
Yeah. But 100%. When we're speaking about it's exactly what he said. He was spitting. That's facts.
Who was?
Shout out to you, actually. Let me.
He's here.
Get him on Fugazee.
Bring it.
Ease was spitting. What Ease is saying is that who's more rare? There's less of him because he's in a 1 percentile, and there's many of you, meaning that men, our standards aren't high. So since our standards aren't high and yours are very high, the guy that meets your standards, well, there's obviously less of him. And guess what? We can replace you much easier because we can always find a beautiful, like, we just want, a nice body.
No
makeup,
the cakes.
We want, like, the things that we look for, right. Most women have.
No.
So it's very replaceable. Now, when you get down to other things, like, can a woman, comply and have the ability to defer and really follow a man's lead and submit to a man? Well, one, that's going to depend on her, past, promiscuity, her past relationships experiences and being promiscuous. And that's also going to come from if she came from like a nuclear family and had a strong father figure around. You get what I'm saying? So there's other factors that will play into place, but at the end of the day, you are still more easier to replace than the top tier man. The top tier man is less of him, is more of you. That's just like simple math. There's not anything that you can really argue with. It's just like, yeah, like think about it. Me and you get into a relationship, right? There's going to be extremely hard for you to find another one of me. Extremely hard.
Okay, but why do you say that?
Just by your own, your standards aren't that high. Forget about you. I forgot your standards was low. You could find any guy almost. But for you, it's going to be very hard for you to find another guy that's 6'1" or plus or taller and then makes 140K. That's going to be, and then also be black. That's going to be extremely hard to find. And then also you want that man to
not say he
not
had
cheat.
To be black.
She said she liked.
Well, you prefer.
But even making 140K a year and being 6 foot, there's not a lot of guys that meet those requirements.
I actually looked it up. It's
but also,
less
what
than
you ladies
1%.
seem to forget is that what you ladies seem to forget that is, okay, let's say you do get that ideal guy. What you need to ask yourself is he going to want me? Because remember, those guys have a lot of options. That's what you want. Why don't you care if that's what you want? Let's say you do meet a guy who's 6'1", makes 140K a year, and he just happens to be black. You know what I'm saying? And let's say he does find you attractive, but what you seem to forgetting is that you're not his only option. He has a lot of women.
I understand that. I don't disagree with that.
So hold on, I'm not finished. He has a lot of women that want him. So now, like at that point, that's when you have to compete for him because he has a lot of options, and those options could be better than you. They could be prettier than you, younger than you, in better shape than you. Maybe have one less kid or no kids. So like, even if you do beat him, could you even get him?
Again, with all due respect.
That's just you. I don't mean to
and I mean this with all due respect.
For all women, even for guys. If I want a Victoria's Secret model, I gotta compete with the dudes like Cooley, 6'4".
Is the Victoria's Secret model the prize? Is she replaceable really easily? Just wondering.
Wait, what'd you say?
Say that again?
Victoria's Secret model, easily replaceable, and is she the prize?
No, it's because at the end of the day, a Victoria's Secret model, one, she weighs 110 pounds. Niggas really don't care about that skinny at all. And then as far as, the beauty, the Victoria's Secret model, she puts on a plethora of makeup. She puts on a whole lot of makeup. So those chicks ain't really even all that beautiful. Those chicks ain't really the guy's preference. Men, we're simple creatures. Guys will settle on a face that's like a 5 if the body is a 10. We'll settle on a body that's a 5 if the face is a 7 or 8. You get what I'm saying? But women, you want them to be attractive, and then you want him to have his money right. He has to make you feel the vibes. Think about it. It's just very simple, women. Women, just pay attention to this. It's very simple. You want the man, because you said it. You was like, most of these guys, you spoke about white guys. Like these white guys, they don't really have game like that. They're kind of corny and asking regular questions like, well, hey, how are you? They're kind of stiff, right? Well, those guys really wasn't probably out there in the dating market and experiencing a whole lot of women. If a man has game and he can make you feel the vibes, that took practice. That means that he made 100 other chicks feel those same vibes you feeling. So if he made you feel the vibes,
change my preference, believe me, I would. I'm
just saying, if he made you feel the vibes, he has the ability to make other chicks feel the vibes. So there's a high probability that he will exercise that. That's all I'm saying. That's just the reality. I'm not promoting it, saying that's just how it is.
I don't disagree.
So if you like that clip and you want to watch more, click right here. But if you want to watch the full episode, click right here.